All right. We are live. Welcome to the First of His Name podcast based on HBO series Game of Thrones. This is episode number 3 based on season 1, episode 3 of the Game of Thrones series. My name is Tone Roy. I'm your co-host.
And my name is Sheldon Calhoun, your co-host.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's happening, man? Hey, so this last episode was titled The King's Road. We pretty much discussed Bran almost being killed in his bed, saved by his mother, Jon and Tyrion headed for the wall, and Ned and Arya and Sansa have a whole crisis on the King's Road where ultimately Lady Sansa's direwolf had to be put down. And then we roll right into episode 3, Lord Snow.
Lord Snow is this episode's title, and we're just gonna get right into.
Just get right into what happened in the episode. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know just like how exactly how it went down.
Yeah, we go bop every scene. We gonna start off with Ned arriving at King's Landing and being called to the small council by the royal steward.
The royal steward came to let him know that Grand Maester Pycelle put together. He called for a small council meeting. You know what I'm saying? And that was pretty much to give him his what do you call that?
Pendant is pen for the hand of the king.
Yep.
Got you. All right. Now Ned goes to the small council. As Ned goes to the small council meeting, he is greeted by none other than our friend Jaime Lannister.
Sir Jaime Lannister, the
Kingslayer. They have a bit of a back and forth, right? But it wouldn't do it any justice without us playing it. So you want to go and play the clip?
Yeah. Let the people see what we talking about.
All right, here we go.
Thank the gods you're here, Stark. About time we had some stern northern leadership.
Glad to see you're protecting the throne.
Steady old thing. How many king's asses have polished it, I wonder? And what's the line? The king shits and the hand wipes.
Very handsome armor.
Not a scratch on it.
I know. People have been swinging at me for years, but they always seem to miss.
Choosing your opponents wisely, then.
I have a knack for it.
Back and forth, bro.
Animosity.
Must be strange for you, coming into this room. I was standing right here when it happened. It was very brave, your brother, and your father too. They didn't deserve to die like that. Nobody deserves to die like that.
But you just stood there and watched.
500 men just stood there and watched. All the great knights of the 7 kingdoms. You think anyone said a word, lifted a finger? No, Lord Stark. 500 men, and this room was silent as a crypt. Except for the screams, of course. And the Mad King laughing. And later, when I watched the Mad King die, I remembered him laughing as your father burned. It felt like justice.
Is that what you tell yourself at night? You're a servant of justice. That you were avenging my father when you shoved your sword in Aerys Targaryen's back.
Tell me, if I stabbed the Mad King in the belly instead of the back, would you admire me more?
You served him well.
When serving was safe.
Ooh, they dropping bars.
Ooh. Hey, now look, that got so much significance. You know what I'm saying? Served him well when serving was safe.
When serving was safe, boy, that's a straight up, hey, you ain't what you talking about, man. That reputation precedes you, does not precede you.
It was a lot of animosity up in there, man. You know what I mean?
It was a lot. It was back and forth. It was Jaime trying to justify things, and Ned standing on his laurels and his morals and his loyalty, his honor, his code. You were swore to protect the king. With everything you're saying about my father being burned, you still murdered the king. You stab back. What are we talking about?
Yeah, man. Yeah. See,
That's
and then
crazy.
it was a lot of sarcasm in there with the oh man, about time we had some stern northern leadership. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Don't
it was
like you.
sarcasm
I
trying to
know
take a
how you
shot.
don't play with me, bro. I came down here to do a job, and don't do that.
Yeah. That's definitely something that you could sense in that episode.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so after that, that Ned heads off. You see at the end of the scene, he walked away. He was going to the small council meeting where we meet
Lord
Lord Peter
Varys,
Baelish.
Peter. Yeah, my bad, my bad.
We meet Lord Peter Baelish. We meet Lord Varys, and we meet Grand Maester Pycelle, as well
And
as Renly Baratheon.
yeah, and Lord Renly.
Lord Renly Baratheon. There we go. That's the brother of the king, the current king, Robert Baratheon, specifically.
By the way.
Right. And they speak about the king's, not the king's name day, a celebration of the King Day or something like that. I forget what it's called.
It was a tournament for the Hand of the King.
A tournament for the Hand of the King, yeah.
40,000 gold dragons to the winner, 20,000 gold dragons to the runner-up, and then 15,000 gold dragons or something like that to somebody else. 80,000 gold dragons
Gold
altogether.
dragon. Just for the winners or the participants. The participants and winners, but let alone everything it takes to put a feast like this together.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Lord Eddard Stark find out?
He pretty much learns that the crown is $6 million in debt. $3 million in debt to Tywin Lannister, $6 million in debt altogether.
Right, yeah. So we find out that
Lord Tywin Lannister has been fronting.
He's been
fronting King Robert for everything for the last however long he been king.
However long it took him to add up to that 3 million.
Exactly. So yeah, and Ned is like tremendously disappointed in the small council for letting Robert just go willy-nilly with the money. And then
they go bankrupt the realm. They go bankrupt the realm.
Then they tried to throw it off on Jon Arryn. He I don't believe that Jon Arryn would just sit there and allow Robert to just spend his money like that. Then Grand Maester Pycelle, he come with the Lord Arryn, he gave prudent advice, but the king, he just did what he wanted.
Basically, yeah, he listened. I want to point that out. Pycelle was like, well, somebody tried, and Jon Arryn, the former hand to the king, definitely tried. Robert just didn't listen. Basically, that's what he told him. He didn't listen.
King tends to do what he wants.
The king tends. There you go. Exactly. Right.
And then hey, look, I want to point this out too. When Ned first got the King's Landing, he just, he don't bite his tongue for nobody, man.
And you know what? Just to flash back to that very first scene, he's hit the ground running because Buddy was like, "Would you like to change into some?" And Ned kind of dusted himself off, straightened his shit up. I was like, "Let's go. I'm ready. What you mean?
Yeah.
I'm here. I got a job to do."
He don't bite his tongue for nobody. Like even when Lord Varys, when he first met, or not first met him, but when he shook Lord Varys' hand, he like, I heard about your troubles on the King's Road. We're all praying for Prince Joffrey. He said, shame you ain't saying a prayer for the butcher's boy.
Yeah, exactly. Then when
Grand Maester Pycelle was like, how long has it been? You are a young man. He said, and you served another king.
King, right? Yeah, he kept doing it to him, bro.
I'm like, damn, man.
he was kind of friendly with Renly because he didn't have one of them.
Renly was cool.
Renly was cool, but everybody else got him.
That's his homie little brother, so he cool.
Yeah, Renly cool as hell. He known him since Renly was a little
Peter
pup.
Baelish. He told Peter Baelish. He say, yeah, I believe you. What he say to him? I believe you knew my brother Brandon as well. He was like, yes, I carry a token of his esteem from collarbone to navel. He said, yeah.
He said, you know about what he say?
He told him, yeah, look like you chose the wrong man to do it with. He said, look, it's not the man I chose. It was Catelyn Tully. a wonderful woman, which I'm sure you'd agree with. Now you know I'm gonna agree. That's my wife. Don't do that.
Right, don't do it. I'm a man. I'm gonna give you another cut, buddy.
Don't do that.
Cross your throat. Fuck, what you talking about? Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Bayless did. He pushed buttons. He
He
had them
stepped
little
over the
quips,
line a little bit.
you know, quite a bit. All the way up to even
pretty
at just
much-
now.
If this was the line, he pretty much just put his foot over and dangled it like that there.
Yeah, like it was some water. He put his toe in the water and shit.
Right.
Like, I ain't worried about this.
So
But
yeah,
then next we got Cersei and Joffrey. As Cersei treats Joffrey's horrible wounds where he almost died from, and
his
all
little
that
baby dog wounds.
his little baby wolf wounds. Yeah, they
He just got this grand plan about what he would do if he was in charge with the Starks, and excuse me, he just just trying to make it be known that the Starks are their enemies. And of course Cersei is this is the type of things that you got to pay attention to with Cersei. Like the way she talking to him and telling him like she's making her own rules. Like
she's leading him though. She's leading him to think he's thinking for himself.
And this the thing too, like when she say something like when your father rebelled the Iron Throne, he was a rebel and a traitor. But now, you know, he is what he is now. You make your own rules, and when you sit on the Iron Throne, you're gonna be whatever it is you want, whatever it is you say you is. So it's like,
yeah, technically,
this
Robert was
type of teaching that she giving her oldest baby boy.
Yeah, because like you say, Robert was technically a usurper.
Yeah, absolutely, he was.
But once he became king and he took that throne, had that crown,
he wrote
he
his
was the
own
protector
history
of the realm, and he did what he wanted to, whore and drink and hunt, and that's all he ever wanted to do. He didn't want to be a father, at least not to none of Cersei kids,
right? or any other one for that matter.
You got it. But yeah, I'm gonna just decap that in that scene with Cersei and Joffrey. That's where you start to see her manipulation of him, her ability to put him in a certain mind frame. You get what I'm saying? The influence and guide. You know that
and
whole.
You also get to see some of his early stages of his mindset, like the way he thinks. Like that's ruthless to think about. To to do something like that. Like think, you know what I'm saying? Like you just killed that. You just invaded somebody's homelands, and you gonna tell them to slaughter all of their brothers. And he like, well, I'm not asking. Like who do you think you are? You know what I'm saying? For him to be thinking, this way, and he's not even sitting the Iron Throne yet. It's like, come on now, you know. It gives you an insight on the type of character that he is.
Definitely. Next, Ned goes to visit Arya in her quarters, and he meets Needle.
Nice, yeah. And he knows that we learned that Arya is not a snitch because she don't tell Ned where exactly she got Needle from, but Ned clearly already knows that it came from Winterfell, and he knows
Iron Worker. Yeah, he know the work. You know, he got like a little some kind of tail that he had.
The Maker's Mark.
The Maker's Mark. Yeah. So, but Arya didn't tell. And from there, they had a discussion about he wanted her to be a lady and have princes and princesses, and she's like, "That's not me."
Yeah,
she's not. I'm a warrior. I'm a fighter. I'm not a lady. I don't belong in pretty dresses. That's play with dolls. That's Sansa.
And we see that in the first episode. Like, she got the helmet running with the soldier's helmet. And he had to take the helmet off before they was presented to the king, and then you see Bran down there struggling to get to hit the target with the bow and arrow. She comes
straight,
hit a bullseye. You know what I mean?
Got everybody laughing at Bran.
Hell, she got a little bit of a little bit of tomboyish in her, if you will. So
yep, definitely that little mischievous, like a little mischievous little boy kind of. Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. And from there we got okay, we go back to Winterfell, and old Nan, the little old lady is with with some stories about the White Walkers. And what did she say? How you say she said?
He said, "Ice spiders as big as hounds."
Man, I'm terrified in there. His eyes lit up. He under the blanket like.
In that darkness, the White Walkers came for the first time. They swept through cities, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
And she looked like a creepy old witch, don't she?
Sounding
all scary, sitting by the fire and shit.
Yeah, man. Like, if you want somebody to tell a scary story, that's the type of voice you want to hear. You know what I mean?
That's it, the eerie little old witchcraft little voice. That
Yeah. In that darkness, the White Walkers came for the first time. I'm like,
ice spiders as big as hounds.
As big as hounds.
All right. And
then right after that, you got Rob interrupting them as he continuing to tell the story. Rob come in and pretty much, break it to Bran that, like, because Bran asked him, like, am I gonna be, is what Maester Luwin says true? And he break it down to him like, yeah, you're gonna be paralyzed, and it's a sad moment for Bran because we learned that he don't even want to, be alive no more after.
Don't want to, for a 9-year-old to have that thought, it's touching, man. I understand where he coming from, just thinking about being in that world and that the way of life, and that's all they know. And Rob's still trying to pump him up, motivate him, like, oh, you still going to be a lord, and you get what I mean? Like, you can still do anything, you just can't do certain things.
Especially since we learned that that's all Bran do is run around and climb on
stuff. And yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Robb Stark told him, man, I seen you climb 1,000 times in the rain and the wind, and you never fall. So, you know,
that's why it was hard for them to even understand that he slipped and fell off the wall.
Which didn't happen. Of course,
everybody know it didn't happen.
You know what I'm saying? So
even Catelyn, they kept telling him don't climb because she was worried about him falling. When she heard he fell allegedly, she didn't believe it.
She still didn't believe it.
That's why she did an investigation in the previous episode.
Mm-hmm. That's what Maester Luwin said. The boy's always been sure-footed before.
He had no reason to be like, it don't, that's the truth. It's like, hey, man, he never had an issue before. What's to it now? And then the whole connection to the Lannisters just make it more of a mystery and all of the chatter and shit. Only 3 people know. Mm-hmm. Technically only 2 because he don't fucking remember.
Exactly.
So next Cat arrives at King's Landing.
And immediately gets stopped by the City Watch.
As soon as she get in the gate, straight by the City Watch, taking the Lord Peter Baelish's establishment.
Mm-hmm. Lord Peter Baelish's establishment, and she's highly upset that she's been summoned.
Pissed that she's been summoned and brought to a brothel.
A brothel.
Not just being summoned, but brought to a brothel. It's titties and well.
What the line she used? What do you take me for, some back alley Sally?
Back alley Sally, yeah, that sounds like I'm on some old Scottish Irish shit. Back alley Sally.
Yeah, so she was pretty upset about that. But Peter Baelish had, as we know, he had good intentions. You know what I'm saying, for what he was doing.
Definitely, it was a bad execution, but
it was a bad plan, but good intentions.
Good intention. There we go.
We learned also that Lord Varys is there because
Mr. Master Whisperers just popped up out of nowhere.
Well, that's how Lord Peter Baelish knew she was in King's Landing, because of Lord Varys. Lord Varys come out and pretty much asked, can he see the dagger that was used to try to kill Bran? They show him the dagger, and surprisingly, he doesn't know where it came from.
And now when you get Peter Baelish jump in like, oh, something you don't know that I know. I know whose dagger that is. The dagger's mine. And they like, what you mean is yours?
Right.
It's like, it's mine, but it doesn't belong to me. He said,
I was just going to ask you, how did he say he lost the dagger?
He said he lost the dagger at a tourney for, I believe, Joffrey's name day.
Mm-hmm.
And which is like jousting and sword fighting. They all come together, have a big feast and celebration. It's like a birthday, or you know what I mean, kind of deal.
That's what it is.
Name day is a birthday. Yeah, so it was Joffrey's name day, and allegedly, according to Peter, he bet the dagger on Jaime Lannister to win against Tyrion Lannister, who wagered for the flower.
The Night of the
What was it
Flower.
called? The Night of the Flower to win, and then Tyrion allegedly won because yet Jaime lost,
Yeah.
and that's where the dagger supposedly exchanged hands from Baelish to Tywin Lannister. Tyrion Lannister, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
so that's what he's telling us. You know what I mean?
So pretty much he's making a allegation toward Tyrion Lannister for being the one who armed this assassin with the dagger.
Right, and then in that room you got Peter Baelish, Lord Varys, Cat, and Roderick, and all of them. Well, once Peter Baelish says it, the others believe it, particularly Catelyn and Sir Roderick. Yep. So
and from what she has no reason not to believe Peter Baelish. Peter Baelish was like, he grew up in the same castle that she grew up in. They was like sister and brother growing up, even though Baelish was, as he told Ned earlier in the show, he was fond of her, but she had no reason to expect him to lie. So of course,
at all.
So
yeah. So she believed it, and that took her on a journey as well. From there, where we got that's where we meet Commander Jeor Mormont, and we meet Sir Alistair.
Okay, Sir Alistair and
Sir Alistair and Lord Commander Mormont at the Wall, Castle Black.
Okay.
And that's where Tyrion. No. Where did Raven came for Jon Snow, correct? That's
right.
Yeah. The Raven came for Jon Snow.
That's right before Tyrion saves him from getting beat up by Rast, Grin, and Pip, because he had just kicked all of their ass on the field, with the sword fighting. So
easily, bro.
Yeah, easily, without even trying, to be honest.
And they pissed off. So they try to jump him and shit in the armory.
Yeah, Grin got his nose broke, but Tyrion comes in and pretty much saves Jon and threatens them to with his position as he is the queen's brother. I'll tell my sister on y'all, so they backed off.
Yeah. What do you think will happen to you if I tell my sister?
Yeah,
the queen.
Yeah,
then they left, and then that's when Tyrion informed Jon about the Raven. What was in the Raven again?
He told him that his brother woke up. Bran woke up.
So Jon was given that news. From there, we go back to King's Landing, right? And Ned Stark receives a letter from Grand Maester Pycelle,
which is probably most likely the same exact news that Jon
just same information about Bran waking up. Yep, exactly. And then from there, after Pycelle gives Ned Stark the letter from Winterfell, Peter Baelish walks in, inquires
that's when Baelish walked in.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And pretty much told him that it gave him some type of inquiry that his wife may be in King's Landing, and he followed him all the way up until the brothel, and he said, "Well." Ned was pissed off because why he like, you told me my wife was here, but you taking me to a brothel. So he's
like, you're a funny man. You're a funny man. You tell jokes. Like he yoked his ass up on that wall.
Let's not forget that he was choking him while he was telling them that.
And it was one of them chokes that looked like he barely touching them, but Baelish over there struggling. Like
he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't breathe. It wasn't happening.
Couldn't even talk.
He couldn't breathe. Couldn't talk.
But
that's when he actually does notice that his wife is there. He looked up out the window and she like, Ned. So they go up there and they discuss what they was just discussing when Sir Roderick and Varys was in the room about Tyrion possibly being the suspect in they boys' attempt on his life. And she was telling Ned
Ned
Stark.
ran Peter before that. Didn't Peter Bailey say something about Starks? Do you remember that? He said Starks, like Starks, or what did he say?
He said something like quick tempers. Quick tempers, slow minds. That's what he
slow
said.
mind. There we go. Quick temper, slow mind. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. And you can tell there's something brewing there. Plus the whole thing about him being in love with Catelyn, which I still believe he is at this current time. Ned and Cat reunite.
Mm-hmm. Which was a beautiful thing to see.
Which was because
they
you
were
didn't
just
know
away from each other
they was away from each other so long after he hadn't left home since Robert's Rebellion.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for him to leave now after all this with all the kids and everything going on, and then she had to get on the road to come right behind him, that was tough, but it was good to see them reunite. These are the main characters at this point.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, right? Even with the king and the queen and shit, these are Ned Stark, Catelyn Stark, the Starks, really. Next we got I think they did the next scene is Jaime and Cersei talk about Bran. It's like a concession of people finding out that Bran
has woken up. Yeah,
I just recognized it.
We're getting everybody's reaction to Bran waking up. We get Rob reaction. He come in, he talk to him after getting the stories read. We get Jon
Snow.
We don't really get his reaction. We get his reaction. We get Ned getting his letter, and then finally we come to Cersei and Jaime where they discussing it, but they discussing it in a very different way. They discussing it in a way that they nervous about whether he told somebody that they pushed him out the window. You know what I mean?
Everyone else up to this point was concerned about him waking up in a positive way of hoping he gets better and knowing he's not gonna walk anymore is sad to them. Cersei and them don't give a fuck. He can't walk anymore. Right. They didn't want him to wake up.
Right. Exactly.
The fact that it's being said that he's awake is worrisome.
Yeah. Especially since they know what Jaime did,
Right, of course. Yeah. And Jaime speaks about protecting her. He said, I'll fight a war. We'll start a war. And he say that
oh yeah.
Live. Well, I like this one. He say they're gonna write a ballad about it. They'll call it "The War for Cersei's Cunt." She slapped him so fast, and then he caught the second one, and she tried it again, and he spent her around, and then they went on into some freaky shit after that.
Yeah. Some different stuff.
Weirdo asses. After that, we got directly to Barristan Selmy speaking to King Robert about their first kills.
Mm-hmm. They was telling war stories about the first time they caught a body. Yeah,
and Barristan Selmy again is the commander of the Night's Watch or City Watch.
No.
Kingsguard.
Yeah, he's Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Yeah,
Kingsguard. There's so many of them. I'm so confused sometimes, but yeah. Barristan Selmy, Sir Barristan Selmy is the Lord Commander, not Lord Commander, but the commander
of the Lord Commander.
Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Yeah. And yeah, they speaking about the first bodies they catching. And we meet Lancel Lannister. He comes in.
Very peculiar character.
Very peculiar little man. What King Robert tell him?
But King Robert was abusing this dude, man. Apparently, he was appointed by the Queen's, the King's wife, by Cersei,
his squire,
as his cupbearer. As his cupbearer and his squire. So he was his squire and his cupbearer.
All in one.
All in one, yeah. So, but he was just out of line and out of pocket with the way he was talking to this dude, man. He was telling him, he telling the story. He saying something. It was much better back then. Wine, just screaming at him. Then he come over there and pour the wine. The wine, it ain't no more left. It ain't no more wine left. Me tell him, it's empty, Your Grace. He said, empty. He said, there's no more wine, Your Grace. Is that what empty means? You tell him, your mother was a dumb whore with a fat ass. Did you know that? Then get more. What? He just abusing this dude, torturing this poor boy, man. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, man. We should have inserted a scene right here for that one, boy. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a real good one. But this scene ain't over yet because next we got
Oh yeah. No, that's when he called the Kingslayer in there and asked him about his first time when he caught a body. Do you remember Jamie Lannister's first body? Or as the way he described it? What did he say?
He said it was forget the name of the battle, man. But Jamie was a squire to Arthur Dayne.
Barristan Selmy.
Selmy, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Then Selmy was in the room during this scene, and he vouched that Jamie got his first kill at 16 on the battle. I forget the battle, man. It was years before.
It was damn, what they said was, I can't think of it.
I heard Jamie say it when I watched checking out the clips earlier, checking out the scenes earlier.
They was fighting. It was somebody from the Brotherhood.
Yeah, I can't. My memory ain't I ain't gonna be able to snatch it.
It was somebody from. If you know what we talking about, put it down there in the comment section so you can let us know if you know.
Yeah, remind us what it is. Yeah, comment and let us know. We cool with being corrected and informed. Appreciate y'all.
No doubt. But shit, what did they do right after that? I forget.
After that, we got we on the road with the Dothraki or the Khalasar.
Right. And that's when Daenerys tell the whole Khalasar to halt. And that's when Jorah tell her, like, halt for how long? She like, until I tell them that they can start moving again. That's when he like, you starting to talk like a Khaleesi.
You starting to talk like a Khaleesi. He's like, he's proud. He's like, you learning.
Yeah.
You learning like when I say so.
But that backfired on her though. You know what I mean?
For about 10 seconds, it backfired on her.
Yeah.
Are you talking about overall the whole story? Or
No. I'm just saying within that part of it. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Because here comes Viserys now.
Yeah.
He pissed off. You give me commands.
Yeah.
How dare you command me? I am the dragon.
And that's when he put his hands on her. But as soon as he put his hands on her, neck got snatched up by the whip. By Ricardo
and that whip, boy, he snatched him up.
Beast with that whip.
Like he had a padlock at the end of it too, because he couldn't get it off. He like, what the hell is this? He like, we hang him. I think he said we hang him when we take his head or some shit.
No, he said, do you want me to kill him? For his,
yeah.
Because and then she said, no, don't hurt my brother. She was like, you know what? He was like, we should take the ear off for his disrespect. She's like, no, don't hurt my brother.
No harm shall come to my brother.
Yeah, so that was pretty much the end of that. But Ricardo made him walk. He thought he was going to get back on his horse.
He's like, he took his horse. He's like, no, you walk. He had no choice, boy. He was so defeated in that moment. It wasn't no arguing. It wasn't no dragon blood talk he could say.
Oh, no, you wasn't going to be able to do nothing. You know you couldn't be
true king. No, he wasn't going to do that. He wasn't even going to challenge him. You see, he didn't say shit back.
Exactly.
He didn't buck at Ricardo for 1 second.
Yeah,
that was a good one. I like that. The back again, kind of just recapping that point of seeing her develop and growing into a Khaleesi, a ruler, a queen. Next we got Jon Snow and Uncle Benjen at the top of the wall. Tell us about that scene.
First time that Jon and Benjen see the wall. Well, first time that Jon sees the wall, and Benjen said he wanted to be there for the first time he saw it. That scene is pretty much Benjen telling him, his job as the first ranger is to be out there in the field, north of the wall. They've been getting disturbing reports about the White Walkers might be back, and it's reports. There's reports that he don't want to believe, so he got to go out there and check on them as his job, as the ranger. As the first ranger. And then that's when Jon, excitingly like, oh, okay, I'm ready to go.
Take me with you, right? Let's go.
You're not ready, man. You can't pipe down. This is not for you. You haven't even taken your vows yet, Jon. Like and then Jon sitting there thinking, since he didn't got all of this royal training and all of this stuff, and he better than all the recruits that's there, that he just better than everybody. That's when Benjen just pretty much setting them straight, like, man, look, you ain't better than nobody, man. You know, you got to learn how to do this before you about to do it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much
right. Yeah. He had to put him in his place and respect what he, you know, and he told him, you haven't even taken the black yet. You haven't even taken your oath.
Yeah.
You're not nobody. You're just a body here for now, but you're not even a brother yet, a man of the Night's Watch yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're still a recruit, bro.
You're still a basically recruit. Yep. Next we got still at the wall, we got Tyrion and Yoren speaking about the wall and about the rumors. No, I think they're speaking in general.
Yeah, no, they just shooting the shit.
Yeah, they just shooting the shit.
And this is one of my favorite scenes, man. They was pretty much joking with each other, and Yoren was telling Tyrion that sometimes it get tough when you be beyond the wall. Sometimes you gotta, survive on whatever you can survive on. And he was telling them about one time he had to survive on a bear's balls.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he's like, how does it bear's balls?
Tyrion asked him, and how do a bear's balls taste? He said, a bit chewy.
Chewy, that's what he said. The accent and his whole facial expression make that shit so. You like a bit chewy. I sure ate him up though.
Hey, that whole scene was hilarious to me. But that scene right there, we also see Uncle Benjen start come in, and he got a little animosity toward Lord Tyrion, because Lord Tyrion
took offense to some shit he said, right?
Yeah, he took offense to what Lord Tyrion was in there saying. He was in there pretty much joking and making wise cracks about what they have to go through being men of the Night's Watch. You know what I'm saying? He came in and asked him, like, you think the Night's Watch is a joke? Do you think we just a bunch of jesters in black? And Tyrion had a witty comeback for him. He said, well, besides Yoren here, none of you are particularly funny.
Right, yeah. Like, I mean, shit, what you want me to say? Like,
to me.
That was a good response for Tyrion. He was thinking on his feet with that one.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But Tyrion just pretty much said, like, yeah, I don't believe that it's Snorkins and Grumpkins and giants beyond the wall that's out there lurking about. And that's when Benjen took offense to what he said. Like, you don't know, you've never been beyond the wall, so don't presume to tell me what you think is or is not out there. I've been out there. I'm finna go out there right now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You can't be talking about it and talking down on it as if you understand what you're even speaking on, because you have no clue.
Exactly.
It's not no fairy tales that they tell you just to scare you. It may seem like that, especially like earlier in Taste of Brand.
Since they grew up in what you call the South, if you will. North of the wall is north. You know what I mean? So all the stories that they hear, it's just stories that they hear.
I mean, technically, growing up in King's Landing or anywhere in the South, Winterfell is north.
Exactly.
And then you got to go even further north to get to the wall from Winterfell.
And then not just to get to the wall, go beyond the wall.
Beyond the wall, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like myths and tales and
it's myths.
You know what I mean? Urban legends or what ain't urban, but the legends that they hear about is what makes what offended Benjen more than anything. And I think coming from the little half pint made it a little worse too. Plus he go there, Tana Lannister, rich and shit, and
the Queen's brother.
The Queen's
Benjen kept making comments like, yeah, when you back in King's Landing, you'll have all these little stories to tell.
Yeah.
It's a little animosity right there too.
Definitely. And it was another thing with them Starks that don't hold their fucking tongue and they just say whatever they fucking feel.
Exactly.
So far, we've seen it from everybody except Sansa.
Well, so far.
She's the only one that ain't really shown that. And we haven't seen a lot of Rob either in any particular situations, but Cat, Ned, Arya, and Benjen. And Bran, yeah. They all speak it, So that's the cool shit about the Starks that I love. Where we at? Okay, next we find out Daenerys finds out that she's pregnant.
Right.
Her little handmaid or handsmaid, whatever, her little assistant tell her she cup her boobie and be like, "Oh,
I think her name Izzy or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was. She was with her for a while.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's when we see Jorah and Ricardo. They having a conversation around the fire about knives, and you can still tell it's the Ricardo's learning English, you know, and he's learning the different terminology, and they speaking about knives and blades and battle and armor. You know, Ricardo, like, armor is the dress that men wear, and it slows you down.
Because he's telling them about the type of weapons that and the difference between the weapons. Like Dothrakis, they use a blade that looks something like this, you know?
Yeah.
They use a blade that's with a curved blade. So he's saying, like, on horseback, it's much easier to swing it. But if you try to use this against somebody that got armor on, it's gonna be difficult to do it. But if you got a knife or if you got a sword and it goes straight through, it could pierce the armor.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
was a nice conversation they had. It was communicating well because Jorah knows Dothraki language anyway too. So that was a nice little scene. And then Izzy comes in, and what did she ask for? Dogs? She said Khaleesi wants a dog.
She was trying to find some food for Daenerys because she just found out Daenerys pregnant, and she asked, "Could you cut up like a cat, or could you cut up like a goat?" Or she was like, "Well, what about dog?" They telling her, "Well, we ain't got no more." Well, what about dog? Maybe she like Jorah, like, "No, I don't think the queen wants the dog, but you know, I'll find some rabbits for her or something, you know." Yeah. And that's when Ser Jorah found out that the queen pregnant, or that the Khaleesi pregnant, and that's when he say he got to go to Qohor and do something.
Which is the nearest town from where they were on the road. Yep. And then we go back to Castle Black where Jon is training the men. Now they're getting along, right?
Yeah. It seemed like they starting to bond with each other a little bit. You know what I mean? They, especially after Tyrion like explained to Jon Snow that these kids, they were
trained by Sir Roderick. Yeah, you chose.
They wasn't trained how you was trained by Sir Roderick. These is low-born kids, commoners, if you will.
They didn't grow up in the castle. Exactly. Even as much of a bastard as Jon Snow was, and the way he felt he was treated, and the way we saw he was treated in certain circumstances, and then he chose to go take the Black versus Rast or Pip or Grin. You know, being forced. They were on the road in shackles, being taken to the wall. While Jon Snow was freely riding a horse.
Freely riding there. Yeah, exactly.
And then the first ranger is his freaking uncle. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you got so many things on your side just starting this whole thing out, right? So from there we see Lord Commander Mormont, Maester Aemon, and Tyrion are talking about the current status of the wall and the circumstances, how many soldiers they have, the current, the food, the lodging, being able to house these guys and take care of. And they asking the queen's brother to talk to the queen and have her talk to the king to get them some more support for the wall. Because he said the Starks are always right or never been known to be wrong. Winter is coming, and it's going to be a long one.
And
so
that's when Lord Commander Mormont revealed to him that it's been wildlings reporting sightings of the White Walkers, and that's when Tyrion responds with a witty remark like, and the Lannister in the men in Lannisport say that they see mermaids,
right?
So it's one of those things where he's being like sarcastic about what they hearing about, all of these disturbing reports. It's like, Tyrion don't want to believe it because he doesn't know.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's never experienced it. He doesn't even know enough people other than the people.
And we know as audience members that they really out there from the very first episode.
The very first scene, the very first scene in the damn show was beyond the wall White Walkers and wildlings we met before we met the Rangers, before we knew the Starks or the Lannisters.
Exactly.
So it's an intricate detail that's going to play a part later on down the line, various times down the line.
Absolutely.
So now we next we see Daenerys and Drogo bonding over the news of her pregnancy.
Oh yeah. So they discussing it in Dothraki. She's saying that it's a boy, and he like, how do you know that? And she like, I just know, you know.
She just know
that cliche, that very cliche scene you see between a couple when they find out that they pregnant, you know.
Yeah, you know. But just a note on that, it's a big difference in this scene that we can tell that they bonded.
Yeah,
they've connected. They're more intimate with each other. It's a more of affection versus just, oh, you're my wife and I bought you, or your brother gave me to you, or whatever the original deal was, and how aggressive he was with her the first couple times. And
yeah, you can definitely see the difference between the relationship now.
But yeah, you see, last episode in episode 2 is when she made the choice to learn. That's when Izzy was teaching her how to, you know, do things, and you could tell it helped. And now that bond is real. You could tell it's a real bond there versus just an arranged marriage.
Right.
Yep. Next, we got Tyrion and Jon on the at the top of the wall. Tyrion doing his promise.
It's what he is doing what he said he was going to do, which is piss off the edge of the wall. That was his one of his whole points of going to the wall was he told young Princess Tommen and Princess Marcella. I'm sorry, Prince Tommen and Princess Marcella. That was one of his plans. But this is when him and Jon is pretty much saying farewell to each other. And he's saying that because Jon knows that Tyrion has to stop back through Winterfell before he gets back to King's Landing. So Jon pretty much tell him like, man, could you go back to my brother and tell him I miss him and I love him and I can't wait to see him.
Right. Yeah, they have you can tell that they're friendly.
Yeah, they got some type of it's something there as far as their relationship goes. It's like it's a respect for one another.
Yeah, and it's like to kind of recall back to I believe the first episode where the bastard met the imp. Yeah. That's what they were. The titles, the way they looked at each other. Oh, he's the bastard of Ned Stark, or he's the imp of King's Landing, or the dwarf, or whatever. And in this scene, as they shake hands and part ways, which is bogus as hell for him to just got through pissing and then shook his hand. Every time I see that scene, I'll be like, ain't no hand sanitizer, but nigga,
I think Jon had on the glove. I think Jon might have had on the glove.
Okay, I'll pay attention to that next time. I just seen that his little hand go up and then Jon take it, and I think the camera angle changed or something where I couldn't tell. Or I just didn't notice. I just know his hand was a pissy hand, and he's shaking somebody else's head. So I'll check that out next time I look at it. But yeah, even in that moment, you can see he said, "My lord," and he said, "You take care, Snow." He didn't call him bastard or anything. They just gave a mutual respect. And then Tyrion took off. And from there, we head back to King's Landing, where Arya Stark meets
Syrio Forel, the first sword of Braavos, the dancing master.
The dancing master, Syrio Forel.
So he's serving as a guide to her, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much like she clearly doesn't want to be a lady. She doesn't want to have princes and princesses. She wants to be a soldier. So
a warrior, fighter. She don't want to sit back and wear pretty dresses and play with dolls and shit like that.
Exactly. She don't want to be knitting somewhere by the fire. You know what I mean? So she wants to learn how to fight. So
she want to be in that action. In essence, that's what she wants. She wants the smoke, the business.
Yeah. So what does her father go and do? He goes and finds a dancing master to teach her how to dance. You know what I mean?
And we know this because at that scene, which is the end of the episode, you see him in the doorway, like it looks like pride, but a little bit of concern at the same time because
it's
he
pride
listened
that
to her.
turned into concern because it was if you listen closely to that scene, you hear the clinkings and the clackings of real sword fighting. You know what I mean? Like as the scene starts to depart, you hear shing 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 shing.
You hear the metal,
you
like
hear
an actual war.
You hear as if you was in a battle.
Right, like it's an actual war going on in his mind. He was happy to be able to give her that because as soon as Syrio came, she didn't reject it or anything. Like if she was talking like I want to be a warrior, and then she brought him in there and he gave her the stick and started fighting with her, and she like, oh no, I'm sorry, I don't want to do this.
No, she was ready.
She was ready to go.
Yeah,
so it was like a smile of pride, and then like you said, they went to concern based on. In his mind, I guarantee you, the sounds you were hearing, he visualizing all these things that his daughter could possibly end up being involved with at any point in time, particularly since she does want to fight, since she does want to be in the battle.
And ironically, that was the ending scene of the episode.
That was a good ending scene. I believe that was a great way to end it because the story was told up to that point, and I don't know if it would have been a different point of ending the show with something else, like adding a different scene or moving a scene around or whatever. I think that was a good flow to how everything went. Because if again we go back to and most of the episode, it was a lot of news about Bran, concern about Bran, and for her to be able to get again, he listened to her. When he met Needle and he was talking about Needle earlier in the episode, you could tell he was listening to her. He may not have liked it and he may have wanted her to be different, but he listened to her. And at the end of the episode, he brings Syrio Forel to train her, and he's tell her every day you be here at this time, you will not be late. Tomorrow you'll catch it. Like he threw the stick at her and she didn't catch it. He said, tomorrow you'll catch it.
And she was ready. You could tell she was like, that's something that she wants to do. Like she wants to be a part of that. You know what I mean? So, and him being the very honorable Ned Stark and the great father that he is, he provided her with what she wanted. You know what I mean? So
you got it. You got it, man.
I think that was a great way to recap that episode, man. You know what I'm saying? We pretty much covered literally everything that went down in season one, episode 3, Lord Snow. They titled it Lord Snow because we get to see, I feel like me personally, I feel like we get to see how good Jon actually is. You know what I mean?
I think so. It's a distinct difference.
It's a huge difference
everyone else.
Yeah. If you can tell the difference between somebody who was taught, who grew up in a castle and who grew up around highborn trainers, if you will, versus somebody who like Pip was, like somebody might be from like
Flea Bottom. From Flea Bottom, yeah, exactly.
That don't even know how, that never even picked up a sword until they got to the Night's Watch. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they don't even know how to wear the armor or move or none of that shit. So
exactly. So
it's a big difference.
I think that was the reason for that episode. I'm sorry, the reason for that title. All right. Now I feel like since we didn't already like I want to go back and like discuss a few things that we saw in there.
Hold on. Is this spoiler alert? Spoiler alert?
Warning. First of Its Name podcast is not responsible for ruining Game of Thrones for you. Proceed with caution at your own risk.
Spoiler alert.
Hey,
anybody
listen,
just watching, go ahead. Take over, brother.
I just want to tell these people, if you are not caught up up into season 1, episode 3, I'm sorry, just cut it off right now. Because this is gonna be it's gonna be some heavy spoilers in here. You know what I mean? Heavy spoilers. This might go all the way up into season 7. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You never know. You've been warned.
Right now, I'm warning you.
Yeah.
This is your one and only warning. If you hear something that you was like, oh, why you say that? I told you to cut it off, dog. I told you to cut it off. If you hear me say something, you be like, oh man, I don't want to hear that. You shouldn't have heard it. I told you to cut it off.
You've been warned.
So that being said, Oh man, Ned and Kat saw each other for the last time in this
Man,
episode, man.
that's so sad, bro. Knowing that they
With
leaving
us,
each other.
with us knowing that this is the last time. They should have she should have let us see Sansa and Arya, man. She was asking to see Sansa and Arya. She should have let them see them.
He had to keep her being in King's Landing a secret.
Yeah, I
Remember?
know, man. I know.
She couldn't be known that she was there.
It's too dangerous.
That was sad though for us to know.
It was too dangerous.
Yeah, they knew it was too dangerous. He knew it was too dangerous at that point to get Jory or whoever to guard the girls to get them where they at and bringing the girls to a brothel, like you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was the only place that the people wouldn't have looked.
That wouldn't nobody wanted to look, or that somebody would look and not think twice about somebody being there. Yeah, because it's a brothel.
There's too many eyes out there. The Queen got spies. The Master Whispers.
Master Whispers. Everybody got somebody watching and looking and lurking, going back feeding information. But what we got next? Go ahead.
Also wanted to point out the fact that let's go back real quick to Jaime Lannister and Ned Stark's interaction.
Okay. Want to play it again?
We can play the clip again.
Go ahead. Do you want to preface to tell me what you talking about specific, and I can try to play that part.
Okay. What I'm talking about specifically is during Robert's Rebellion. You know what I'm saying? This is why this is a spoiler. This is why this is a spoiler alert. During Robert's Rebellion, when King's Landing was sacked by the Lannister army, Jaime Lannister killed King Aerys Targaryen.
Yep.
That's why he's titled the Kingslayer. But when he killed him and he sat on the Iron Throne. I'm not sure if people point that out. He killed him and then he sat on the Iron Throne.
He sat on the Iron Throne.
You know what I'm saying? So when the person who found him sitting on the Iron Throne right after he killed the king was Ned Stark.
Right.
That's why that scene has so much significance in it, because when Ned Stark walks into the throne room, first thing he tells Jaime, it's good that you're protecting the throne. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to see the significance in that after you understand what happened between these two people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 17 years before.
17 years before all of this, before Ned Stark walked back into that room. And you got to also understand why he told him serving was safe. When serving was safe when it was safe. You know what I'm saying? You served him well when it was safe.
When it was safe, right? Yeah.
That
was prior to war.
You served him well when it was safe. And the reason behind that line is because you took a sacred oath to protect this man.
Protect this king. Yes.
This king, you took a sacred oath to protect this king with your life. You die for him if you have to.
If need be, yep.
If need be, that's supposed to be your job. And we coming to take me and my people, we coming to shut shit down.
That's what we here for.
King Aerys and every motherfucker who with him. So for you to stab your king, as you already know, we on the way up in there. Oh, you a bitch. True. That's the way Ned's looking at it.
Another spoiler, since we in our spoiler section of the show. Why did Jaime really kill King Aerys, the Mad King? What was the one thing King Aerys it was two things he said that you may choose one or two. I think it's one thing in particular that made Jaime actually kill a man.
Well, it was two things, but the one thing was when he told his pyromancer to go kill everybody. He told him
that's one, burn them all,
burn everybody. And then the second thing was when he thought the Mad King thought that he would be reincarnated as a dragon to be reborn from ashes. So he said he cut his throat to make sure that didn't happen.
Right, but I hope I'm not mistaken that I dream. I ain't trying to be funny. I think because sometimes I'll be getting my thoughts switched. Didn't King Aerys tell him to bring him the head of Tywin Lannister?
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. He told him to bring him his father's head.
Yeah. And I think to burn them all. I forgot about the reincarnated dragon slit throat shit. I forgot about that. I think that was really the more mad side of him.
Yeah.
But you get
He
the
did
two
say,
things is
because he told
telling him to bring him his own father's head, and then telling him burn them all.
Yeah,
because that was his allegedly that was King Aerys's last words, even after he stabbed him, was
burn
them all. So I think, you know, even with our system, or if we loyalty oaths, how you say oaths, how do you say that shit? Like John, like Ned Stark did, he still wasn't trying to hear it though. It wouldn't have mattered to him because you just broke it down. You took an oath to put your life on the line and even face death for this man's life, and for you to be the one to take his life. And only because your father's army arrived in time, which is why that's the only reason why I believe that Jaime's still alive.
That's the only reason he's still alive.
I believe if Ned wanted to, he could have killed him.
They still would have killed Jaime if Tywin Lannister's army hadn't already sacked the King's Landing. The
King's Landing, exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Tywin Lannister was there. I gotta start putting my phone on Do Not Disturb, but
it's all good. Just start over. You say if Tywin wasn't there.
If Tywin Lannister was not there, I think they would have still probably killed Jaime Lannister because he was still part of the Targaryen.
Exactly. He's part of that regime. He was part of the King's Guard.
He was Lord Commander
of the King's Guard. Exactly. So it wouldn't have mattered what Jaime had to say at that point if it wasn't Tywin Lannister's army with Robert and Ned Stark's army.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what happened.
That's how that breaks down.
I got one question to ask since we already in the spoiler section of it. It was something that Robb Stark said that's gonna be repeated by Prince Oberyn. I'll tell you who said it. Fuck it. It's something that Robb Stark said that's gonna be repeated by Prince Oberyn. It's probably gonna be difficult for you to get. If somebody was to ask me, it'd probably be difficult for me to get. But I was just paying attention to this, and I noticed it. That it was like, oh damn, that was.
It was something that what was right. He was when he was talking to Bran.
Yeah, in this episode in particular.
Cause Rob wasn't in a lot of scenes in this episode.
No, he wasn't.
Maybe two. Something that Prince Oberyn and Martell, right? Adorn.
Yeah.
House Martell. Give me a second. Let me get 2 seconds. Hold on. It was something about how the Lannisters do things or something, the way the Lannisters do business, something.
It's so fucking, it's something that you would never even think about. Like, it's just some shit like, okay, I'll just tell you what it is.
What is it?
When Rob told Bran that she used to tell him stories about, she used to say that we live in the eye of a blue-eyed giant named Macumba.
Yeah, I remember that now. Right.
And then Oberyn told the same thing to Tywin Lannister when Tywin Lannister came in, pretty much giving accusations that he was the one that killed the king. He was saying that some people believe that you came here and the people know that you have hatred for my family, and we know that you studied poisons at the Citadel. Some people believe that you came here to kill my son. And Oberyn responded with, well, some people believe that we live in a blue-eyed giant, because some people believe the sky is blue because we live in the eye of a blue-eyed giant.
Okay, got you. Yeah, that was intricate. It would have took me a minute to get that one.
Yeah.
If I got it at all.
That's something that I just noticed that was repeated. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that's repeated in that too. I ain't gonna say it now. I'm gonna say the line that was repeated, and you can go back and try to figure out who said it both times. You know what? I'm sorry. I fucked that up. It's not a line that was repeated. It was a line that was said that happened to motherfuckers. Peter Baelish said, some men die. It was when he was talking to somebody at the Vale. Some men die on the shitter. I forgot how they described the word bathroom, but
Commode or
men-
some shit.
some men die on the shitter, and some men die another way, and some men die another way. It was something like that. But
And all three of them shits
and all
happened.
three of those things that he
I
said,
only know one.
something happened, and we know Ty. You know what I'm saying? We know Ty.
Yeah, we know the one.
Yeah, but I
Right,
can't.
right.
Once if I hear a line, I know exactly who he was talking about, or who those things happened to. If I hear a line, I just can't think of it right now.
The
But
three
yeah,
actual things that happened.
yeah, exactly. 3 things that came to pass.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. All right, everybody. I think we came to the end of this episode.
Yeah, man, we covered a lot in this episode, man. If
We
y'all
covered a lot. This is a good one, though, man.
if y'all think we missed anything, I want y'all to put it in the comment section. Like he said, we're not afraid to be corrected, or we not gonna be, upset about being corrected. If y'all think we missed something, please feel free. We encourage y'all to put it in the comment section. Anything, if you know what I'm talking about, what we was just talking about at the end, please put it in the comment section. Like, and even if y'all got some questions that y'all think we should ask, or some questions that y'all think we don't know the answers to, put them in the comment section. Come on, man.
Get down in there.
We want all the engagement we can get from y'all, man. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in again, man. This is First of His Name podcast, man. My name is co-host Sheldon Calhoun.
I am your co-host, Tone Roy.
Hey, man, that's what it is, man.
And that's what it's gonna be.
Hey, all day, baby.
Peace out. Y'all have a good one. Later, brother.
Yes, sir.